is Bluetooth is peer-to-peer, right? So this is from one device to one device. The LabQuest 2 and 3 and Logger Pro can go what I call one-to-many. So if you're on the same network, you can be collecting data here, and then I could send it to every single computer in the classroom or to students' phones. It's really powerful, but not a lot of people use it because IT has to get involved typically.
Okay.
But it is really powerful. The other option that you can do is if you have like a local router, like just a
Yeah.
and then don't plug it into the internet.
Right.
It works great. We used to carry those around and do that, and then you can be sending.
Yeah, I know about those.
The problem is IT will walk in and they'll want to.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? So what we used to do is put hot glue in the RJ2 port to show them like, hey, no, we can't plug it into the internet.
Yeah.
Here, so that's connected, and then, well, this is on again, so let me do this here, since this is finally on here.
This is your gaming room.
So right, so that normally it's just, well, this works just like a LabQuest 2. The screen's a little bit bigger. There are a few key differences between this and the LabQuest 2. Like I'm collecting data from the motion detector. This is a capacitive screen, so you can't use the stylus with it.
But you can use your finger.
You can use your finger.
Oh, okay.
And then we also know that when you select, one of the things that you might not be able to do is select a region close enough. So that's what these little red buttons are. If you tap here, you can go back.
Oh, okay.
And you can go forward. But a lot of the same analysis features and everything that you're used to on the LabQuest are the same.
Okay.
Let me do File New. So let me do this.
Do you guys make little cradles for the LabQuest so they could sit up a little bit better?
The LabQuest 2s or the LabQuest?
The
threes.
three.
We just started selling those.
Oh, okay.
You just found my pet peeve. It was literally my pet peeve when they came out with this because they thought,
Yeah.
don't film that.
They don't stand up on the side?
They will, but here.
They'll eventually. Yeah.
But they fall over. There's no thing on the back like a kickstand thing?
Kickstand.
No, these have these little teeny kickstands.
Yeah.
They didn't stand up high enough.
Yeah.
But there are kickstands now that you can buy from us that we'll get, and I'll send you some.
I thought because we got a 3D printer, we could make something.
Yeah, no, I'll send you some. Why is it not synced? Let me cancel you.
So it could basically talk with the laptops with Bluetooth
Or USB.
or USB. I mean, if you want to be wireless.
These will talk via USB. I mean, these can be used with the laptops via USB cable or
Yeah.
Bluetooth. It's just a little bit weird because most people that have laptops in their classroom, they got the. Do you remember what the Lab Pro is? Have you ever used a Lab Pro? It's just a green box that you plug sensors into, and you've got a USB cable. So it's a completely passive interface. We also have a passive interface called a LabQuest Mini that's about this big. And then all that you do is plug your sensors into it and go straight to the computer. And it's about half the cost of a LabQuest 3. So a lot of people would wind up using that.
Now, do we have to charge these up like
Yes.
overnight and stuff too?
Yeah.
You do have to charge those up, but theoretically, for the Bluetooth, but theoretically they should work powered up on USB alone. So your fallback is always the USB.
Okay.
Yeah, the question for USB, using USB, losing its freedom.
No, yeah, but that's the same thing if you already had a cart before, right? You had to hook up a motion detector, and you had a whole bunch of wires connected to it.
No, we'd have it run and we'd have that basically
Yeah,
next to it, or we have
yeah,
a
this
motion
is not
capture
motion.
watching it, so
Oh,
so it's not being touched
This
at all
was
or
not
tampered at all.
touching.
gotcha. Yeah, no, that you could use it on USB, but then you will have a little bit of loss of motion. So I would definitely recommend, if you can, using it wireless.
So we should charge it.
Yeah, but it'll go off after after like a few minutes if it's not connected. It'll turn itself off.
So it has a sleep mode.
Yeah.
All right. How long does the battery last on this thing for?
We have never had, like, we have all sorts of sensors, and we haven't had anybody complain, and they're in places all over that are going pretty much all day long. I would recommend, though, charging them in between classes, even if it's for like 30 minutes.
Okay. And having them plugged in, does it tend to wear down the battery life in these things?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
How about the new LabQuest?
Question
Do you
is-
just want them charged once a week, or
If
depends on how many classes you
It
use them?
depends on how many classes, but if you have access to AC power, you don't have it on there. If you have access to the table, I would just plug it in,
Okay.
right? Because you're not gonna, if you have access to AC power and it's not a big deal, I would just plug them in and they'll last a lot longer. And what I was telling Foothill College when I was there is if you remove the battery, it will run without the battery and the battery will last a lot longer.
Yes,
If you're not trying to charge it up.
that's
and
what I use on my house, my Wi-Fi thing. Just
Take
take
the
the battery and
battery
plug
out.
it into the wall.
Next question is, how far this can be from your computer in order to communicate?
Oh, far. You can be,
So like
the
a
specific-
student running the cart down the floor on computer is here, it's still gonna,
yeah, if in a completely open field, I think the specification for Bluetooth is 30 meters.
next question.
I wouldn't expect it to work for 30 meters in the classroom, but it should be able to, you should be able to see it on the other side of the classroom here. Is it how to identify it?
Next question.
Yeah.
Several students operating with the same.
There's no crosstalk?
No crosstalk, yeah.
There's no noise or crosstalk because
No,
it's Bluetooth.
interference. In terms of yours, his information is going to your computer or your information.
No.
No,
There's
there's,
different signals?
since they're paired on Bluetooth, the example that I like to give is you're not hearing music from other people's headsets. If that is an issue that you can sometimes get in Wi-Fi, but we haven't seen an issue with that. Maybe if you had a ton of devices, there could be some interference, but I haven't run into it. The bigger thing that I see that people want to know about is if you're connected wirelessly. Come on, new experiment. Oh, so it finally saw it. Okay, so that's,
Oh, yeah, just
Right.
like the old way.
yeah, so it'll look the same there, but if I disconnect that and go file new experiment, sensor data collection. Oh, there we go. So is the cart on? Cart green? Yeah. The two biggest things, so there's the number right there, 0V6,
Yeah,
0068.
the number
That-
for
It's listed
each.
right here.
Yeah, but that's really small for my eyes, maybe it's good for
Yeah, it comes
students.
with the sticker, so we need to find the, right sticker.
But you can also always check here, you can tell students to go here and hit identify, and no flash.
Oh, cool.
So then students will be able to know which one it is. The other thing that's important to be aware of, I've seen this a bit, right, is let's say I want to connect these two at the same time. I just don't want you to get, I've seen this happen a few times, so I want to show it to you here. Is I can go back down here to connect, I can connect to, so one of the founders that worked at the company is colorblind.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we call this green and yellow, even though they're not quite green and yellow, so that a student should be able to see them. But one of the things that didn't quite think about, maybe as much, is there's this position G and position Y. Position Y is for yellow.
Oh,
Right.
G is for green.
The G is for green. But if you just had the Y cart and you were moving it, you
It
might
looks
think,
green.
yeah, you might think though that it's the Y position
Ah.
and not the position across.
Oh, goodness.
So just be aware of that, that if it's the,
Yellow.
yeah, it's yellow
You
and
gotta-
green, and if you see a Y, it doesn't mean Y, it
It
means
means yellow.
position, it means yellow. I don't know how many times I've taken a call from that when someone says,
Why is yellow?
oh no, it's more like the Y position is all weird and the cart is not going up and down. Oh,
It's yellow.
it's vertical position.
Is the X.
Yeah, it's X. It's X but called Y.
I think if they manage to do it
XY.
to be identified the color there, it's a yellow color instead of or green color for the other one, rather than saying what.
Yeah.
Color the text the same color as the.
Yeah.
It is right now, so like if I hit connect, the color of the line is the same color as the card.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
That's very nice.
You can change it though. So students could come in and go, I want my yellow color to be a different color.
No, don't.
I'm just saying they could.
I know.
But the backup is yellow and green, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think this is more.
Just don't
bluish.
tell the kids to change the color.
Yeah, and I think this is greenish yellow, but anyway.
What's the lifespan of the batteries for the LabQuest 3?
The lifespan on the battery for the LabQuest 3, I think we warranty them for 2 years, but I've had some in mind that last longer than that. I've had some that have lasted 9 years.
But depending how you maintain, the donor was charged, I believe. This
Yeah.
is just no.
Yeah.
We've had ones that start to inflate inside of these things here.
My recommendation is, are you guys teaching all summer long?
We do have a 6-week course in the summertime.
So at any time that you've got a really long period where they're not being used, pull them out.
Unplug them.
Unplug them, pull them. I would actually even pull them out of there
Oh, take them out of that.
and put them in a refrigerator.
Okay.
We got a
Or just
refrigerator.
make sure they're in an air-conditioned room. We typically have most problem where we have the most problems with those batteries is, say, at local high schools where they turn off the air conditioning in the summer and they
Yeah.
they're all dead.
Yeah.
Because they just don't air condition
Yeah.
the room. But if yeah, go ahead.
I've already asked, this can be paired with this guy too, right?
Yeah, yeah. These can all be paired here. If I hit disconnect, I can either what I can do is, these are still on, so the red LEDs are flashing. And then I would go here to sensors, wireless device setup, and then go direct.
So now it's connecting to the.
Well, now
LabQuest 3?
it's going to see which ones are there.
Okay.
And
Both
then I
of
could,
them, or the-
and then I can pick go direct yellow,
I see.
you know, which one, go direct yellow, okay, and then I would have to, if I wanted to connect to another one, I would have to do it again.
Green will show up.
Right, so there's yellow.
Precision.
The meter is always,
Yeah.
the meter is always live, so that's always a good way to check it. It's the same with graphical analysis, all three main key components that you're used to. There's always going to be a live meter in the bottom right corner. It's always going to be graphed, but there's also a table. So one of the things that I'd say is are you doing any exporting to like Excel and stuff like that?
Oh, probably every single thing is going to be done that way.
The fastest way to export in graphical analysis is not save the files as CSV and then import in Excel.
Don't do that.
It's just going to be so much faster if you just, here, I'll show you here.
Just copy and paste.
Yeah, but let me show you how to open the table. So if you launch the software here to save room, because we have a lot of the same platform and the same way it also looks the same like on your phone. So we try to save space, but if you go up here, this is where you can turn other things on, like the data table and meters. And if you turn the data table on here, you can literally just tap there and go copy and paste.
Okay.
And that's going to be, I just think that's going to be so much easier than
Than the CSV
save as a
file.
CSV, and export as a CSV, then go find it, then pull it up, then pull it in, because you can literally just copy, open up Excel, paste, or Google Sheets, or whatever you want. Should be a lot faster.
Great.
All right.
Do they have a manual for this process? Or-
A manual for graphical analysis?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a manual that exists online. I can send that to you. But the user manual is here, also in the app. If it'll allow me to get out. And then every single sensor that, I can't reach the
Yeah, the internet's not down on that thing, so it's not connected.
But yeah, you can get access to the manual there. Each one of the sensors that these come with also has a manual. The sensor booklet is really useful because it's going to give you all the sort of basic instructions to get started. And if there's literally any lab that you're doing right now in Logger Pro, like if you know the lab name, like it's Physics with Vernier Lab 6, John, can you get me that? I can get it for you. The other thing is Dave Vernier, who's one of the founders of the company. He's kind of annoyed that we don't have setup files, so he's made them all. So if there is a setup file that you want for a specific lab, just let me know and I can ask Dave, and he might have it, and then I'll just send it to you.
Okay.
Then you would just need to create a folder on these PCs and then have them there, and then you can tell people to open them up. But yeah, he's got more free time these days, so he's like made a whole bunch.
That's great. So,
Who decided the colors of these cards?
John Gastineau, the head of the physics department.
Any reason why he chose these colors? And
Was that part was his favorite color?
No, I think it was because Rick Sorensen, who was at the company, was colorblind.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you get contrast between the light and dark
Yeah,
item.
and that was a big thing because I remember when he's looking at the screen, he can't see red and green, and it's actually not that uncommon.
my bandmate has that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the lights on here are also green and red, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Well, that's one of those things where they're green and red LEDs are just really affordable to get.
I know.
Can't get chartreuse and blue without a better one.
Okay. Well, that's all for me. I mean, in terms of questions, the rest is just
Yeah.
you feel
working
comfortable?
with it. No, but I have to. I got to sit down and work with it.
The big thing is everyone at Vernier, there is a whole team of physics people there. Tom, Fran, Verl, and a lot of what we wind up doing these days is taking phone calls. They love it when anybody here would call in and say, "Can you help me with something?" Because then they get to sit there and do a Zoom, pull stuff out, play with toys, help you play with toys. Like, never feel bad about asking for that.
Okay.
They love it when they can say, because I used to be the same way with my biology folks and other people. It's like, I can't answer the phones today. I have to do a demo for this college on how to use the EKG sensors and this and that, or a basic introduction. We have an entire room dedicated to it, and so just ask.
Okay.
And if they can't do it, like I'll find someone or I'll do it.
Contact info. Do we?
Yeah, she's got my contact info, and I'll leave a card and a bunch of other stuff.
Okay. That sounds good. The direct lines to the other people who are interested in helping us out too.
Yeah.
All the other people that you rattled off the names of, it's like,
Well,
well, just put their names up here on the wall.
The coolest thing is if you need to, we have a chat function on the website.
Okay.
So that's probably the fastest. We used to call it, when we had the phone calls, we used to call it, what was the phrase I used to use? I usually could tell if there was a problem on the phone because I could hear students in the background.
Oh, it's happening in real time.
Happening in real time,
Something's
and then I
pending.
would usually say, "Are you a teacher under fire?" And they would say, "Yes." And I'd say, "Okay, tell me exactly what you're doing." And then I would be like, "Do this, do this, do this, try that. Did it work? Yes. Okay, call me back when you have time."
Okay.
So you can also just tell them, "We've got students in the room right now, and this is not working," and they'll escalate it right away. But a lot of younger students and teachers like chat, and there's an entire chat function that you can use.
Okay.
So you can just go on there and go to chat and
New
then
toys.
ask little questions.
Ooh, they're colorful.
And wireless. There are sensors inside these
Do
things.
you have any,
You don't have to have all this external stuff.
Pasco had a lot of handout for teacher and student instruction for doing a lab.
Yeah, those are all in the
Lab
books.
instruction, okay.
Yeah, those are all in the books. If you own the books, that's what I was going to try to show you as well on my computer. I think mine has
I
internet
don't have a
access.
book, I mean,
So you can give us the book,
Yeah, well,
online book?
set up.
Well, actually, if they have it online, we could print it ourselves.
Yeah, that's like online book, so we can.
We could print it ourselves.
take care of this really quick. I'll come back
Okay,
here.
thanks.